VCT Game Changers is back in EMEA and Split 2 is gonna be absolute cinema. All of the teams contesting for playoff spots and potentially making a run towards GCC. But who's gonna prevail and who are gonna be the best teams in the competition? We as casters try to give you some answers. Predicting a Split 2 winner was difficult for me because there are so many teams out there who are in a potential contender status. But it boiled down in the end to Gentlemates Game Changers and G2 Gozen. Like, those are the two teams to beat. They were the last year's finalists and I think both of them are very suited for the current meta. In the end I went with G2 Gozen here because it's very hard to beat a team like this 2 times in a row with the sort of experience they're having, with the sort of experience they're having in bouncing back especially. And I don't know, I think it's very hard to beat a team like this 2 times in a row.
Winner of Split 2. Now I've gone for Carmine Core GC for the Split 2 winner. I think I went for them for Split 1 as well, but they seem to be getting better. And now that the kind of double duelist is not as prevalent, I think Carmine Corp is going to definitely take it there.
I think that the Split 2 winners will be Gentlemates GC.
I mean, G2 is gonna win the split, right? So Gentlemate's gonna come second, and my third place is already sort of a hot take. I think Alternate Attacks has one of the best lineups for the current meta and some of the best players who are suited to play in what we're currently seeing on the server. So I think Alternate Attacks is gonna make that miracle run to third place. In fourth place I have Carmine Corp and I potentially see them win the split, right? I think they have a higher likelihood of winning the split compared to Alternate Attacks, even though I have them lower on that list, because they have the experience of winning a championship. And my final 2 playoff teams are going to be Zenit and Giant X.
Who is going to be in the playoffs this? I struggled with this one for quite a bit because I put Twisted Minds too low before. But I think that who will be in the playoffs will be Gentlemates, G2, KC, GX, ATN, SK, and I think Focus will make it. So obviously I'm missing out Twisted there, which a lot of people might have been going for, but I'm quite hot on Focus. I think they're going to perform quite well against all the teams except ATN, where they have a bit of a mental block. Yeah, there we go.
I reckon the teams that we'll see in the playoffs will be G2 Gozen, Gentlemates GC, Alternate Attacks Ruby, SK Nebula, KC, and probably Giant X. I think those would be my 6.
MVP of the season is, for me personally, one of the best Neon players in all of EMEA. Purity playing that Judge Neon playstyle will be wild, and I think some teams gonna have some weird problems with her.
MVP of the season, I'm going Alkia. She's gonna pop off. Like, Neon is just powerful. She is so good on Neon. She's not forced to be on Yoru where her TPs were a bit off sometimes. I think Alkia, she's gonna pop off. MVP by far.
I'm going to give a really boring and diplomatic answer and say that it is way too early to call an MVP of the split. I think Split 1 showed us that the bar is continuously being raised here, and the superstars are coming out of the left field and players are putting up performances like never before. So my answer is going to be everyone is going to be on fire and bringing the heat to a whole new level. If you really had to push me for an answer though, I'd say Berry X, just because I think Neon is going to be, now more than ever, running it down. So if Berry X can stay in top 4, I think she is going to be unstoppable.
I mean, I had my biggest surprise in the playoff picks already. Alternate Attacks making third place would be a huge surprise for the entire scene, and I think they're making a big run, absolutely possible, like everyone else in the scene, right? So I think predicting playoff teams and predicting surprises here is very hard, but I think it's going to be either Alternate Attacks or Zenit surprising us with great performances.
Biggest surprise, Focus. I don't think they're going to be beating ATN. They might do, but I think they're going to outperform what a lot of people are expecting here.
Biggest surprise of the split, I think, is going to be ATN. Now, I'm play-by-play caster. I don't have the cold, hard stats to back up this statement here and now. This is vibes alone, but when you know, you know? So ATN is going to be my team that I think is going to kind of blow everyone out of the water.
my personal hot take is also something to do with the playoff teams. I think SK Gaming, with their current roster construction, the players they're having on the team, won't reach playoffs once again. Like, they built that super team structure and tried to implement a team that is just better than everyone else on different positions, but it did not work out in the first split. The roles looked awkward, and yeah, promo relegation was a different story. They beat some teams that I value higher here compared to them. But I still think that SK has a lot to figure out, especially role-wise, with Julina and Rescue, and I don't see them making playoffs in that split as well.
My hot take, sorry JT, is going to be that G2 are 5th, 6th in playoffs. They looked good last split. But now Mimi is not going to be able to be on that Euro where she was performing pretty well, unless they're going to keep forcing the Euro. I don't think that the meta is going to suit them as well. And realistically, G2 perform best either really early or really late in the year. They don't necessarily perform well in the middle. So I think G2 are going to be 5th, 6th in playoffs in that first elim round, get knocked out. That's my hot take.
My hot take is that the Prelude to Chaos skins suck. I've been informed that it was meant to be a Game Changers hot take, and my Game Changers hot take is that Zenit and Barca had the best off seasons. So I think that when week 1 rolls around, their transition into it and they're hitting the ground running is going to be way smoother and way quicker than almost all of the other teams. All of the other teams.